Thing about it is everybody wants a big bank account. I'm sure that you do. Like, we all want to make sure that we got the money flowing constantly, consistently. But the thing about it is, if you want that to happen for you, you have to be consistent with your investments. So when I talk about that, I also want to make sure that you're not simply listening to people's short-lived opinions about where you should actually go to potentially use OPM, which is other people's money. OPP being other people's property. We don't need that right now because we have our own. But the reality is, when you're looking to expand and you're looking to go from single family homes to actually start renting multifamilies and luxury apartment complexes, then you actually want to use other people's money. You don't want to always simply drain yourself. You don't want to become cash poor. That's the worst position to be in, when you got all these assets and you look amazing on paper, but the reality is you're hurting. You're taking from yourself in order to make someone else feel comfortable. Let's create win-win situations for ourselves. And so one piece of advice, one thing that I suggest, is that you start at home. And when I say start at home, it's start with the banks that already know you. Start with the banks you've already built relationships with. And when I refer to relationships, I'm talking about making sure that your bank, your credit union, is already seeing that cash flow. They see the monies that are flowing into your account. They see the monies that are going out. They see that you're current on all of your commitments, your financial commitments. They're more likely that when they see that you've built they see that you built a relationship with them, they're more likely to lend to you, and at better rates. Here we are in a situation where we're in the middle of COVID and the interest rates are lower than ever. Let me explain something to you. You will not find a better rate at any financial institutions lower than places that are like credit unions and things of that nature. One thing I know is that as of today, Navy Federal has about 2.3 interest rate on mortgages. Like, you could literally, you're sitting on a gold mine. Understand that you don't have to be strapped for cash, that you could literally take out a personal loan. You could even take out a loan that will allow you to, or a line of credit where you only use and pay back. You pay back what you use. So the reality is there's way to get what you need done without strangling yourself financially. That is my goal. Listen, I've been there. I've been in a situation where, things had to get done. The money I felt wasn't there, but the whole time I was sitting in the middle of it. Like, I had this crazy property in South Philadelphia in the middle of, it was like the oyster of every developer's dream, because every developer, it was the hottest zip code in Philadelphia. And guess what? I'm sitting in the middle of it thinking that I'm completely broke and helpless. And I got all this equity built up in my house, spent $129 for the home. And guess what? The home was worth $500,000. And I'm sitting there thinking that I don't have a way out. You have wiggle room. And I think that a lot of new investors, a lot of tired landlords who feel like they're strapped and they have nowhere to go, is because of what you don't know. So I tell you to at least inquire at home first. If you feel like, you don't have any wiggle room, you don't have no way around things, then you probably want to go through other avenues. And so I've listed a few banks here. The other thing that I wanted to make sure that you could see is that just the example that I was referring to, like, look at some of the rates at Navy Federal as they load. If you were even looking for a new or used vehicle, look at the rates. Look at how low they are. Now let's go over to the mortgage rates. 15-year mortgages for 1.875 interest rates. Look at these APRs, 2.3, 2.5, 2.6. Like, you guys, need to understand that you need to look at your home banking establishments before you actually listen to other people and go out there and start developing these financial relationships, and you're getting robbed, paying 14% when you could have just banked at home. So I like to help to save people money, and I like to actually put systems in place that help you get a level of peace. So look at places like American Heritage, if you bank with them, Police and Fire, USAA. If you bank with these financial institutions, one thing I can say is I'm not leading you down the wrong path, because I actually bank with them. The only bank that is listed here is Police and Fire. That's the only bank that or credit union that I'm not banking with. But as of right now, and as far as credit unions, Navy Federal, American Heritage, USAA, amazing establishments. And the thing about it is they're educators. I haven't sat down with anybody from American Heritage who was not willing to actually advise me, on the right direction to go in. Let's jump down to smaller banks like Key Bank, WSFS, Citizens. Now, a lot of people don't like WSFS because they feel like it's more of an archaic bank, and they haven't really caught up because of some of their systems. But they, every banking institution or financial institution has their opportunity, threats, and drawbacks. And the thing about it is, with WSFS, I believe that it will work for you if you're looking to actually borrow for your business. They also allow for teachable moments as well. One thing I love about Key Bank is that there hasn't been one person that I sat down with at Key Bank that wasn't willing to educate and advise. Like, especially if they feel like if an inquiry is going to hurt your credit, they're like, listen, I would suggest you do X, Y, and Z. And that's what I can appreciate about them, because they're not going to just willy-nilly pull your credit without getting some good financial background information, without you having to waste your time and even lower your credit score if in fact you really don't qualify. So it's good that they ask the questions that they do, so that you're put in a position where you actually can move forward in a more confident and comfortable manner. So just wanted to kind of take you over to PayPal, because PayPal does help you with accelerating your business, especially. So for me, if you noticed in the last session, I actually spoke about PayPal and how I've been collecting my rents. It's been an easy way for them to even see that I've established, a good working relationship, that I've built a relationship with them, so they can see it. They see that the transactions coming in. They see that I'm being paid by my tenants. They see that the money is coming in from online sales. And so they're like, wait, you really could qualify for funding from us if you needed to. And they have their own cards and stuff like that. There's so many different perks. And the good thing about it is that they have a business resource center, and you can just look to see what actually worked for you. So, and on top of that, you can give them a call and get even more details about things that actually work for you and your business. So just wanted to put that out there. Not only is PayPal a good way to collect your rents, but it's also a good way for them to see the transactions coming in and you to be able to potentially qualify for the loans that they have. There's so many businesses out here who have been able to really soar, really ascend quickly, because of the fact that they've been backed or assisted by getting by borrowing from PayPal and being able to pay back from the funds that are actually coming in from their businesses. So it's a win-win situation, in my opinion. Thing about it is, everybody wants a big bank account. I'm sure that you do. We all want to make sure that we got the money flowing constantly, consistently. But the thing about it is, if you want that to happen for you, you have to be consistent with your investments. So when I talk about that, I also want to make sure that you're not simply listening to